Alright, so it seems that it worked. And now, can I see myself live is the big question. So let me try and watch it. Hey. So, alright, let me go to the channel. So there's a bit of delay. Okay. Oh yeah, and I gotta make it so that's, where are the settings? Yeah. Okay, so now it should only be hearable from YouTube. And it still sounds a bit quiet. Alright. I'm gonna do this. Maybe a little less. Alright, so now I'll get started. So Scala, what was I doing? I was reading about Scala 3. So Scala 3. So I know Kotlin, right? And now I want to go a little further into the functional programming world and learn Scala. So I was just getting started, right? So let me see what's up. I have IDEA open, I mean IntelliJ or whatever you want to call it. So setting up Scala, I already have that. I don't think I did the REPL very much. I don't think I downloaded any binaries with that. Is this a REPL? Let me see. It is not a REPL, unfortunately. Alright, so I guess I'll have to download something for the REPL. Getting started guide. Okay, let's just do this. And then that should have everything. Alright, that's great. So it looks like there's, whoa, that will take a while. Well, I don't care. I'll just wait. And in the meantime, read a little bit about the REPL. So, in the REPL, okay, you write Scala, which opens the REPL. There's Scala C, which is the compiler. Pretty similar, so then to just when you go and type, say, Kotlin into the terminal, you get very basic thing, very slow REPL, but it does work. I wonder if the Scala one is faster. It's kind of just a JVM thing on the first startup, so it should be. Can you do that division? Okay. I thought you had to make them both doubles, but never mind. Alright, so as I was saying, in the Scala compiler you can also create variables, create functions. That looks pretty easy. Okay. Cool, cool. Worksheet. I don't know whether I am ready for that, although this does look kind of cool. Yeah, I'll worry about this later. So it looks like we're about halfway through all the Scala stuff. Let's just do that then. So that's the REPL, variables and data types. So this is where I was starting. So how to create follow. So this is exact same as Kotlin. Yeah, val can't be reassigned. Var can, of course, be reassigned. So it looks like there's type inference going on. You can, yeah, you can let it infer the type. That is type inference. Okay. All right, great. So it's when you want to do a list or something, it is list 1, 2, 3. And how do you do the hello world again? At main def hello. Wow, yikes, the old version was really something. Okay, main def hello, like that. That's an interesting choice. They went with an annotation for main function, but whatever. Don't know whether I like it, but that's fine. It's whatever. So, Scala hello. I see. That's cool. So if you do give it an argument, it's not going to be REPL. It's going to be a call to run a class file. So asking for user input. Right, so I'll probably just copy this and put that in the console to start with. So I will have to switch to Scala here. I had Kotlin open. All right, so here's this. And then that, okay. So it's a little slow, that's fine. Oh, you do that. Okay, well, can I also do this? Procedure syntax in method definition. And that is not allowed. Interesting. Well, I guess it's going to be kind of like Python, where you do that. Type annotation required. But it's clearly not, because it still lets me compile this, right? Okay, interesting. Wait, what? What is up with this? What does it mean? Could not find your load. Well, that fixed it. Okay, so fairly easy stuff going on here. And you're telling me you can make a list like this. So val, right. And then what if you try to print that list as well? Would it let you do that? Okay, cool. I see no reason why it wouldn't. So prints it like this. That is perfectly fine. You can always do this. You can always, okay. So you don't have to put the type of the variable it's typing first. Built-in data types. Scala comes with the standard numeric data types you'd expect, and they're all full-blown instances of classes. Okay, good, I guess. So this is all JVM stuff. Pretty classic. Defaults to int, defaults to double. That's what I'd expect. You have long, you have double, you have float with these prefixes. Okay. Or postfixes. Suffixes is the word for it. So, meh. You have, okay, big int and big decimal. So I could go and do a factorial function right now. So def factorial equals, interesting. All right, so it does get a bit mad at you. And I do wonder whether you have to specify the return type. I don't think so. So even if I do this, I don't have to specify, and it will return 3. Okay, so that's interesting. So let's put this all aside for now and just print line factorial of 40, right? And how you do a factorial is you would have a val, no, this should be a var, h or var result equals big int 1. So how do you do a for loop? So let me see, where's the for loops at? Control structures is where it must be at. Okay, let me just really quickly scroll down to for loop. Ooh, interesting. A generator and a do keyword. That is interesting. That is very, very interesting. Okay. I guess you can do a range, right? So if I do 0 through n, which is an int n, do result times equals I. Is that not a thing? And I'm sure you could use dot reduce for this, but alright, so this does not appear to be a thing. Range Scala. Range is by default. Okay, fine. I don't really like it. Can I just do it like this? And including n, do return. Is there a return? Okay, so first of all, it yells at me about this return. It needs a result type. What does that mean? Does that mean I just write int here? Whoa. Really? That's how you do it? Oh, I forgot. And this is a big int. So if I remove this, it would type infer. But if I want it to be specific, it would be big int. I don't have to do that. And I could just print line factorial 40, right? So let me see what it says. Alright, so that looks like factorial of 40, and this is, but that's not inclusive, so I would want to do range. Okay, so this syntax I don't really love. This feels clunky. Not my favorite. Surely there's a better way. Oh, okay, that helps. You have two functions. 2 is inclusive until is exclusive. So when you're doing it like this, you would do 1, 2, n. Great, that helps a lot. Okay, there we go. And I'm sure there's a way you could reduce this. So you could do dot fold. Oh, yikes, this is interesting stuff. Have not seen this. Okay, fold. Alright, so starting value is big int dot 1. That's not a thing. So just big int 1. Dot. Okay, and then you have a function which takes. Ooh. How do you do lambda in Scala? Okay, so you have your grade. Okay. And do you have pattern matching or what? Let me just see what the type of x is here. So x is any? Well, that doesn't make sense. Expected 2, maybe that would explain it. So now what does it think? So it thinks x is not found. It thinks, okay, so clearly you can't do it like this. You gotta do it like this. There we go. Y is any. X is any? Come on. Can't it tell this is arranged? So if I do val test, surely you can tell this is arranged, dot inclusive, right? But it can't tell when I do fold. Okay, so I don't know what this is to begin with. I can kind of read this. So you have some kind of currying going on here. This is very interesting. Very interesting. So this is. Wouldn't you want reduce? No. So reduce is not what I want. I would want to fold it, starting with this, and then also giving it a function which takes a1 into a1 and return. Yeah, that makes sense. A is the type of the list. So in this case, A should be integers. And the operation would take a big int and an A. Shouldn't it take an A and an A1? Well, interesting. So I guess I'm not at that level yet. But factorial, not a bad start. It's big int, so I could do like 80, right? And it would be just a very large number. Yeah, I could ask the user for... So now here's an interesting question. Would this work? So this is going to be a string, of course, right? Can I call it with just a string? Okay, good. I would hope not. 2 int. Okay, great. And that would probably throw an exception, alright, if it does not contain a parsable int. Interesting. Is there a way I can try doing 2 int? Option. There we go. And I would want to do unwrap or... Okay. Ooh, get. So that must be the one that crashes. So that's like unwrap in Rust. So doing this would be the same as just doing this. But if I were to do get or else, which takes a function... Okay, so let me see. This is interesting. It's a lot of options here. Whoa, what's all this, man? Okay. Anyway, let me just see if... Doing options. So what do you do with options? You can do get or else. Okay, so yeah, I don't think you could do that. Well, I guess we will see later on what you can do. But for now, that should work. And they can also have a while loop, right? Is there no while loop? Oh yeah, it does. Okay, so while true, do this, this, this. Or you could use recursion, which is a bit silly. I'll do it both ways, so I'll try doing it like this. So you can get some pretty large numbers. Like, could I do 200? Yeah, of course. And it would be a good number of digits, so let's have it print the number of digits as well. So val f is the factorial of that number. And let's print line size of that number. So I'm sure there's string interpolation, but I'm not quite there yet. F dot toString dot size. Okay, length on arrays and strings. Alright, so now it tells me the size, 450 digits. So could I do 400? 860. Okay, cool. So I'm going to be crazy here and do 4,000. And that is a 12,000 digit number. That is, could it handle 10,000? 35,000 digits. Impressive. Impressive. Very easy to use this big int stuff. All for it. Is there also two big int? No. And there's none of that. Okay, whatever. I don't hate it. It's fine. It's whatever. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. That's okay. And I would guess there's string interpolation somewhere. So I could also do it like this, right? So you do, then you could return that. Overloaded or recursive method. What if I return it? Oh, come on, but I don't want to return it. What? Alright, so I'm not at that level yet. So I'll just stick to the while true. That's fine. So what's the Scala 2? Oh, yeah, that looks... Yikes. Not a big fan, actually. This is a little nicer. For a functional language. I don't hate it. Does Scala have plus plus? It does not. That is nice. So they... okay, but it does not have plus plus. Well, I'm glad to hear that. So even if I do 4 plus plus, which is obviously not a good example, but yeah, it doesn't exist. Alright, great. Custom control structures. You can also create your own code that works just like a control structure. You'll learn more about this in the control structures section. Alright. Well, we're not there yet. We're still on variables and data types. Right, so let me see what a list looks like. Right, so I was just here. Factorial function, we don't need that. So I can print the list, right? And it'll just show me 1, 2, 3, 4. All good. Alright, so I hovered over something for half a second and it already doesn't make sense. Interesting. So there must be some CC type that is defined elsewhere. Well, that's interesting. I was just wondering what's the type of my list int. So could I go and say, well, this is actually a list of doubles. Would it let me do that? Okay, it would. And it would convert everything in there to a double. That's interesting. That is very interesting. That it does let you do that. This instance of... ooh, I don't know how you do that. So, do I do this? Whoa, okay, so that's what I'd do. If I wanted to do it on the right-hand side. What's it saying? There's a typecast as well. Whoa, what is this? Is a typecast is a type ascription. Okay, so don't use as instance of, I guess. Whoa, that's interesting. Sure. Alright, so don't use as instance of. You would want to do 3, 4 as a list of double. And that would also work. Or better yet, I don't even need the... Okay, so this is kind of like as in Rust. Except it actually does work. Because obviously when you go from an int to a double, you're doing work. That's cool. That is cool. That is not bad at all. And I could also make this, could I make it a list of big ints? I could. So that is interesting. And then I could go and make, so this list I would guess is not mutable. Right. Okay, so to begin with, is there a set function? No. So it's clearly not mutable, or at least I don't know the syntax for it. If I did var, I would guess that would also not be mutable. Alright, well, I'm not going to do that. I'll just do val and then I'll map it. So E equals E 40 plus E. Oh, right, because I commented this out. But that should show pretty convincingly that these are all big ints. Yeah, so these are clearly all big ints, and you can do that type of conversion. That's cool, that's good to know. Person. Built-in data. We did this. Okay, so we were here. We were at big int, big decimal. Go string type, char type. Okay, so this is pretty similar to Kotlin. Where's my string interpolation? Ooh. So like this. So I can do print line, what's your name? File name equals read line. And then print line. So there's an S at the start. Your name was name. Oh, that sounds way too formal. Hi, name. Yeah, okay, so that's fairly easy. And you can do an arbitrary thing in curly braces. So I could do this. It's not necessary, but I could. Okay, you have your triple quoted strings. I mean, even Java has that these days. Fairly sure. Anyway, so now we get to the good stuff. We have if else for match while try catch. Sure, let's see. Then, okay, so you have thens. But you could also do it like this. I don't know, man. I'm kind of conflicted on which one I like better. But when you're in Scala world, do as the Scala people do, so I'll stick with this. But personally, I have no issue with stuff like this. I think it's less keyword soup, more emphasis on what's actually being checked. Anyway, so alright, great. So let's, for example, make a function which caps the person's name. Def limit name, and you would take name, which is a string, of course, and you would return okay, so if name dot length is what they wanted me to use, greater than 10, then name dot substring. Okay, interesting. Substring of 0 to, well, 10. It might be off by a little bit, but I haven't really thought about it. Else name. Yeah, that sounds pretty good to me. So then we would do limit name. So then if I were to type in tester, I would get the usual, right? But if I were to type in a very long name, it would cut it off. Ignore the tab, that's kind of silly, but yeah, that seems to work, and it cuts it off to just about 9 characters. And I can test that for sure by just doing that. And yeah, 10 characters I meant to say, but yes. So like that. Okay. All Scala control structures can be used as expressions. So yeah, that's pretty much Kotlin as well. I'm interested to see how you'd use the for loop as an expression. Would it just be like a map type thing? We'll see. Okay, so let me first of all start by seeing if that works. val name 2 equals for character in name do character plus test. Okay, so let's see. If I'm not mistaken, okay, well, I'm not actually printing it. So let me just print line name 2. If I'm not mistaken, I should get 1 test, 2 test, 3 test, 4 test. I did not. I did not get that. So then, how do you use a for statement as an expression? Oh, yield. I can't spell. So now it should be 1 test, 2 test, 3 test, 4 tests. Okay, I don't know what an array sequence, well, I can guess, but not bad at all. Sequence. Okay, that's cool, I guess. I could see how you would use that. This is just sequence syntax for Scala, so not too different from, say, generate sequence in column. Yeah, so let me clear out some of this stuff which I don't really need. So you have this thing. Yeah. Okay, so that seems fairly straightforward. And you can you repeat a list? What if you, I'm guessing you can add 2 lists, right? 6. Really? No? Plus appended all. Well, that's ugly. What is that? There's gotta be a better way to do that. Okay, there's no way. That is the best you can do. Oh, is it this? Ah. I see. So there's your syntax. Nope, that doesn't work. And now int is a list of any? Yeah. Plus maybe? Alright, there you go. There you go. That is very interesting. And then I could do, say, dot reverse, as it seems, and I'd get 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 6. Great. But obviously if I were to do, say, this dot reverse plus 7, no, not plus, but that, I would get, I meant to put in a 0. But yeah, you would get this. And I'm sure there's better ways you could write it. So you could do 6 to 0? Will it let you do that? Down to, okay, well, that's not a thing. That's not a thing. I guess you would do 0 to 6 dot reverse. There we go. Yeah, okay, so that's fairly straightforward. It seems good. It seems nice. Alright, so there's also guards. Ooh, this is cool. Alright, this is pretty cool. You can use multiple generators and... Whoa, okay, that is nice. How do you do it in Scala 2? Yeah, I guess in a functional language this does look better. So let me try that then. So you can easily do like combinations of values, so you don't have to nest your loops anymore. That's very nice. Let me see what it says. I equals 2, j equals b. If I equals, okay, well these ruin it. So that is nice. That is nice. And now you could get, say, all these combinations of stuff, which would be like, it should start 1 1 1 2 1 3 2 1 2 2 2 3, etc. Say these were both 10. And I'm guessing there's a print function, which, yeah. So something like that. And you'd get, okay, well, this is way too much. Well, I'll just stick to a print line. Yeah, that is pretty awesome. Cool. And I could do, say, if I dot is even. That's not a thing. Yeah, nice. If I if j2 is 1. Right, so if the left one's even, right one's odd, that's cool. And it should probably be pretty fast with bigger numbers. So if I did 1,000, 1,000, I'm sure it's much faster than that. Only thing limiting it is... Ooh, so now the nice thing is I could actually do some yielding. So val nums equals. So now I should get... I can do tuples, right? So I can just do ij. And then this will be a list of tuples, indexed sequence of tuples. Okay. So I don't know how that is yet, but I'll just do list of int. Okay, so there's got to be a better way, but ooh. Alright, so it turns out I don't know what I'm doing here. Maybe it's just not meant to be used that way. Could I do nums.toList? I could. So if I did this, okay, that's a bit ugly. I don't really love that. I could just do val nums sequence equals, oops. So this should be fast, right? So I could even just have it say print line started, and then we'll see how long that takes. Yeah, so the printing this takes a bit, but I mean the actual thing itself is pretty much instant. And even if I were to do, say, 10,000, which, by the way, do they have underscore syntax? They do. Very nice. So that would take a little bit longer, it seems. It takes around 1 million. But I can respect it. Sure, why not? Syntax is very, very nice, very easy. Like the fact they can do multiple of these iterations or iterables at once, very good. I like that a lot. So yeah, here's your for, here's your yield. Okay, so this is a problem. The fact that you can write something so simple in so many different ways is a bit annoying. I don't really love that, but most people will default to either this or Java. Okay, well, nobody's doing this. Like one of the first two, probably. Scala 2, you would do. So does that mean that? Nah, never mind. Ooh. That's cool, but you could also map it, right? So if I'm not mistaken, you could have found names equals list Chris, John, Mike, right? And then val upper names. Okay, so nah, I'm not changing all those. Equals names and in names yield dot lower case. Print line lower names. Okay, cool. Very nice, very nice. And now I could, yeah, but the thing is, this could just be a map, right? So names dot map to lowercase. And I mean, that is a lot nicer to read in my personal opinion. And then I could also do upper names the same way. So I could do lower, or well, why not? Do uppercase. And then I could print both lists. So then I could do something stupid and go, okay, so for I, or for, oh, I don't think you needed that, n from lower names, or L from lower names, U from upper names, do print line L, yeah, or if L dot, I'm gonna do something interesting here. I don't know. Scott, I need one more name. Jake, there we go. If L dot last dot last, okay. Print line ends with same as. Okay, so this is going to be interesting. I'm going to switch this and then, so now I should get okay, so that's interesting. I'm not, oh, of course, of course. If n dot last equals L dot last, there we go. That's cool. That's pretty cool. That's about what I'd expect. And so that's just going to print combinations from those two lists where one ends with the same as the other. Very nice, very nice. And you can also use this as filter. Okay. So here's the thing. Seems like so far there's at least two ways to do everything in Scala. And I'm not necessarily, I'm a little like cautious about that. That seems like a little bit like, whoa, you know, that is tricky, because if you're working on a big project, how do you communicate which one you're going to use? Okay, cool. So now we get into the good stuff, which is pattern matching, I think. Right, so we have pattern matching. It seems like a rather contrived example because, yeah, it's already not liking the fact that this language has I don't know how to do. Yeah, as I was saying, not loving the fact that this language has indentation-based stuff, because it just, like, tiny things like this, and it suddenly doesn't understand anything about my program. And even if I were to just move this over, okay, wow, Not my favorite. I don't love that. Oh, you can do that. Well, that helps quite a bit, because then if that was here... Okay, what is it doing now? Okay, well it seems, but if I... Yeah, well that does help quite a bit, for sure. And I can still use these braces if I want to, but whatever. As I was saying... Right. So this seems like a bad example. Also is... Okay. So I need to make a person class, which would be... Oh, I don't know how I do that. Let me just make it a tuple. How do you make a single element tuple? Not sure. Do I have to do tuple one? This is so dumb. Okay, I can do like that. Look, this is the issue with some languages. Or actually, it's a general tuple issue, I think. Even Rust has problems like that, but... Okay, so there's your basic wrapper class, right? Now that should actually do what I want it to do. However... That's so silly. Why does it... Typo. Alright, good one. So here's what I don't like about this example. What are you doing? I mean, why not just p dot... Ooh. That's so dumb. Why is it like this? Yeah. Okay. Well, I could at least do this, right? I could do name equals p. Okay, so it seems that it doesn't really like tuples of one element. It's a tuple. Sure. I mean, sure. If you don't like it, I won't use it. And I mean, they have a point. There's really no reason to use tuples with one element. Okay, so name. Let me... Okay. Yeah, so wouldn't you just want to do that to ignore it? And then you would do case Fred. And better yet, just return. So you would do this. You would do this. And then val message. This looks a lot more elegant to me. So personally, that seems a lot nicer. Yeah, I suppose that, and you could also just do which is very ugly, and I don't like it, but whatever. Better yet, I could do this. It would probably, nope. But yeah, better yet, just don't use a data structure when you don't, whatever. I see how it would be useful in future. So you have match, you have if it's a list of something, you say to that's cool. Some types don't support pattern matching because this could break encapsulation, right? So that's one of the issues with pattern matching is there are just some types where you don't want the person who's using them to have access to all the information that they have access to, right? So for example, something like big int, right? Pattern matching doesn't make sense. Because if I do big int x equals big int, like a really large number, right? Val num equals x dot, like, what are you gonna do, right? Say you do this, right? You have something like this, and then you do x equals x to the power of, is that how I do it? Nope. Sure. X equals x dot power. Can you do something dumb like this? Nope. Alright. Okay, well that's obviously way too large of a number, but say just something like 7. Even that is way too large of a number. Say 4, right? And then print line that x. You're gonna get a very large number, right? That's obviously can't be an integer, right? There's no way you could store that as, well, an int. But so therefore, how would you do pattern matching? Because you can create it like this, and it's very nice. But how would you do like x match big int n into, I don't know, print line that n, right? How would that work? And also, it's mad at me because I didn't write case. Yeah, how are you gonna match it? Like, what's the n gonna be? Because you would expect it to be an integer, right? But there is simply no integer that could represent this value. So pattern matching doesn't work in all cases. Like, this big int number has a state and everything, right? And it has stuff going on that you can't just pattern match. So yeah, that's kind of the issue with pattern matching. And I guess in this case, it's not really something you'd need to do, but pattern matching has some weaknesses. Although definitely this is going to be very cool to learn. I'm familiar with quite a bit of pattern matching from Rust. This looks also fairly vanilla, so fairly similar to Rust. I think I can get the hang of it. And also here you have this whole thing where you can figure out the type of it. Yeah, that's cool, because in something like Rust, you have to note the type of everything at compile time, and there's none of this, like, as far as I know, there is, maybe with dynamic pointers, there's something like that, but not to this level, where you can just see what type something is. So that's very interesting. So here it will do, nah, never mind. All right, all good. Right, type matchable, which could be any type supporting pattern matching. So let me actually see what happens, what I can plug into this, right? So let's put this here, and it's going to be a bit of print lining. This is going to be quite a bit of print lining, but whatever. So if I did this, I get int hello as a string list. Alright, so this is just to kind of showcase the fact that you can substitute stuff, and you can, of course, do that, right? I mean, string s, because now within here it knows this is a string. That's cool. D is a double, so you could also just do D. Now here's the thing, could you do substitute a list? You could. Now, my question would be, what if, you know, this element that's contained in the list is not cannot be turned into a string? I wonder what the default will be. But it's fine, whatever. I guess I don't need to worry about that yet. And also, I'm guessing there is that. Sure. It's a bit ugly, whatever. So now I do actually wonder, could I do some interesting stuff here? Could I do list dot or l dot join? Is it join list to string Scala? Oh, MK string. Okay, interesting. Whatever. Can I do this? Okay, so you don't call things like that. You would call things like this. And now I should have a pretty good representation of a list here. That's nice. That is pretty nice. Getting the hang of that. Very cool. You're telling me I wouldn't be able to say match. Well, I don't know. I feel like you should be able to match, say, big int of 124. It would just say, well, it's unknown, right? Okay. This is what? Oh, I'm an idiot. I didn't put it in the function. Okay, so I was gonna say this should be unknown. Okay, because if it was actually turning it into an integer, that would be very weird behavior, because, you know, some big ints just can't be integers because they're too large. A variant exists in which you can specify a prefix and suffix. This is so ugly. What is this? Yeah, that's super readable, for real. Okay, well, I can see it. It's single quotes in the middle and outside. So you're telling me this could have also, first of all, I don't like that, but this could have also been, okay, stop. This is so unreadable. I mean, look at this. How are you supposed to read that? But yeah, it should be the same thing. Although, if you're doing that in code, I mean, rethink your code. Like, really. String interpolation does exist. Although I do wonder if there's a performance hit when it comes to using something else. Alright, now we have try catch finally. So this is very strange for a functional language. But whatever, it's Java, it's JVM, what do you expect? It's fine. And it looks like catch is a lot like match. That's cool. So catch is like match. And you have this pattern matching going on here. I can absolutely respect that. Well, they probably won't do very much pattern matching. Alright. So then, while loop construct. We just looked at this. You have while, you have do. Is there while yield? So is that a thing? If I were to do var I equals 0, val list equals while I less than, I don't know, 1,000, yield. Okay, so to begin with, this is getting a bit cursed. Yield I, oh my goodness, what even is this? I plus equals 1. Alright, so This is messed up. While yield Scala. Uh-oh. Ugly code. Oh my goodness, what is that? What on earth? Continually. Okay, I'm not sure whether I like that at all, but we will get to it. Custom control structures, I'm not interested. I'm not at that level yet. Okay, when writing code in an object-oriented programming style, your two main tools for data encapsulation are traits and classes. So trait, I'm guessing, is like Rust. They can contain abstract. Okay, so that's a lot like trait in Rust, interface in Kotlin, etc. So these would be the default implementations. This would be abstract. All good. Scala 2 probably gonna have, yeah, I mean, whatever. The Scala 3 does look a little better. Here's a dog class that extends all those traits while providing a behavior for the abstract speak method. So this is how you make a basic class. That is very, very cool. So I'm not going to use any of this because it doesn't know what that is, first of all. It's having some struggles with the syntax down here. Val my dog equals dog pickles. And then I could do my dog dot. Okay, so why does speak return a string? But it's like, how do getters work then? Well, we will get to it. Okay. Equals print line left. And it's gonna yell at me for no unit. But I mean, why does it want? Whatever. Right. Can we also do cool? So that's fairly classic. We have the extends keyword. It's fine. That's fine. Okay. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. We have start running, stop running. You come through with traits as input. Okay. So let's see, how do you use classes? You have a class which has a first name, last name, sure. You have, okay, so you're gonna make, this is the basic idea, is you make a person. And these are mutable, right? So, are you telling me then that by default, first of all, can I just put this on here? I can't, so I can have anonymous classes. It's very nice. So if I do this, right, let's see what's going on here. So you're telling me, if this was val, obviously we can't do that. But it's not val, it's var. And if I do this, that seems to default to val. Well then what's the difference here? I don't know. So if I were to get rid of that, it wouldn't matter at all. Oh, I see. So val makes it public. Otherwise, like val and var make it public, otherwise it would be private. Then, What's the difference between this? Private val. So I guess it's just private val by default. And here I'm making it a public var. Okay, a little complicated, but that's okay. Okay, functional programming, domain modeling. ADTs, traits, enumerations, and sum types. You have enum. Now, what is that? Wow, that is very ugly. Although, to be honest, not too different from Kotlin currently. There definitely should be some work done in Kotlin to try and get closer to this syntax. But yeah, so you can have this, right? You can have, well, that just made a lot of stuff in my structure, but whatever. Let's just do day of week, the classic enum, or even better yet, coin flip. And you have, well, either it was heads or it was tails, right? So I would say val result equals, well, let's just make a function that says, hey, give me, can I put functions in here? Okay, interesting. If math.random less than 0.5, then give me heads, otherwise give me tails. And this returns self, or this. So that's not a thing. You gotta write coin flip. I'm gonna put this on new line just to be cool. Okay. So result is, well, coin flip.random, right? Coin flip dot, ooh. How do you do static? There's no static. Static method Scala. Let's see what's up. Oh. So you make a class and an object. You know what? That's not too bad. I can respect it. It's a little bit ugly. Object coin flip, and then you have your random. Then coin flip dot heads, else coin flip dot tails. Okay. It's okay. It's fine. It's not the best. It's whatever. I mean, it's whatever. So now I actually do wonder, I should try to make ternaries by myself. Because, wait, can you just, no, you cannot. You know, be a funny thing is to just make ternaries, right? So can I do extension function Scala? This is going to be interesting. So I don't know whether that will work. So it seems like my Wi-Fi also is being a little bit dead, or these docs just suck. Let's see what's up with the network. Is my Wi-Fi just dead? Well, apparently not, because I can see myself on YouTube and it's doing fine, so whatever. We'll just cancel loading. Alright, this is interesting. Let's just, okay, it won't let me select text. So I'll just copy. If it even lets me do that, great. Now, let's use extensions. So on I, which is an integer, right? No, which is a boolean. Def question mark. Oh, how do you make the funny ones? Def What? Well, I thought I could make convert to function syntax. Okay, so to begin with, let me just try this. As an operator name, it should come with a target name annotation. Nah, I'm good. I'm not doing that. So let me move this down here and let me do val x equals true question mark. Right. So you have, this is going to be so strange. T, how do you do generic functions? No, not Kotlin Scala. I didn't really get there yet, but it should be runnable if I have a... Okay, cool. So put it after the name. You do this. T. You have other, which is a T. Right? I mean, surely. Generic operator. Operator overloading Scala. Yep. This is a bit weird. A bit weird. Come on, I know I can do this. It seems like this works actually. T equals other. So if I do true or 1, that will be 1. Oh, cool. So then I will have a class or case class midway result, which is okay. So and then arg2 result. This is gonna be so dumb, but whatever. Equals midway result I full other. This is gonna be so funny. Midway result T. So then you will have your this. Now the question is, can you do that? And it looks like the answer might be no. T2 equals 1. So it looks like this is unfortunately not a valid symbol, so we'll use the pipe. We will use the pipe instead, and we will have T2 and then OR, which is a T2. So if bool, then oh yeah, of course that's not going to work because no, this is fine actually. We just take the T. If bool, then result fallback, else fallback. What am I missing here? Does it not know that this T applies to the whole function? Wait, hold on. What? Why doesn't this T apply into here? is going on? Very strange. Very strange. There must be something that I'm missing and I'm not really seeing. But maybe it can't be a case class, maybe it's just gotta be a class. Access generic type parameter within class Scala. So does this have to be a val, or what's up with that? Why is T faded out here? Abstract class. Why doesn't that one work? Oh, come on, why doesn't that exist? Could it be a syntax thing? It's a syntax thing. Alright. So what was I doing wrong then? Should this have been an equal sign? You know what? I'm not going to question it. So this should return then a T2. Okay, so now I should have ternaries. Math.random this, otherwise this. Right, so you would want to do that, but now it should work. That is pretty funny. So this whole thing would be, we just remade ternary, guys. Brilliant. I'm gonna format this and you get a nice little ternary. And this should also be like that. Or, oh, you do that. That would explain it. That would explain it. So that's how you do it. And then, nope. Suddenly it's dead. Extension. Whatever. The syntax is a little weird, but it's okay. It's okay. So then x is going to be a midway result, and then you will have y, for example, be x4, which is a I mean, that's pretty funny. We just remade ternary, guys. Print line coin flip dot random, right? And then you could also have something like def is head equals this equals heads. But also, I mean, you wouldn't. But like if I were to do, say, 1,000 of these for I in 0 to 1,000, do this, right? Then you would get a decent amount, right? Pretty decent amount. And you could even count that. So well, this is a bit weird. You you would do this. Yeah, I don't really know about this one. Dot count is heads. It's better format. This sucks. What is this formatting? Well, I'll just use map. Dot map. Dot random. Coin flip dot. Yeah, I would guess it wouldn't let me do that. It would want me to do some kind of function here. Is this also a thing? It is not. So we will get there. You know, in Kotlin this is also fine, but yeah. So you'd expect around 500 because this is nice little random numbers. That's cool. And you could also make, say, a function random, right? So you would have def random t, which takes one t and a second t, and it returns, well, math.random. Well, I'm not going to use ternary again, but if math.random less than 0.5, then 1, else 2. Right? So then, I mean, this could go, you would just have random of either coinflip.heads or coinflip.tails. For method random in object coinflip. Okay, so that would explain it. It thinks that actually not sure what's going on here. That is very strange. Well, I suppose we'll get there when we get there. Maybe random's already a built-in function. Oh, recursion. Right. I forgot. I'm gonna just change the name of this to random of or something. Yeah. Then I do wonder how you could make this var args. So you could do var. Is that a thing? Scala var args. You have your syntax and you have your examples. Not bad, not bad. You just do this. Options, which is T. I wonder what this type of this options is now. Just that. Alright. Interesting. You would do options at math.random classic random times options dot size. Okay, but it doesn't like these. So maybe it's dot get or something. Okay, so what is this? I mean, what is that? Dot at or wait, what? Why doesn't this one work? Dot you gotta be kidding me. options is now any. Okay, well that's got that. I don't think that's normal. Oh, that's what you pass in. Well, normally if you have something, you would just print yeah, I mean you would just print that. So it's interesting that you can't do it there, but I mean, I guess that's kind of a problem for another time, right? Because I don't know what's up with that. It's a bit strange. But that's not valid either. Does not take type parameters. So do I have to do two lists? Okay, now it is getting weird. Now it is getting to the point where it's uncanny, and I do not understand what exactly is. Oh. No, that's not it. You know what? I'll figure this out later. This is getting weird. I'm definitely making it strange. Very strange, very, very strange. But, that this is a limitation that comes from the JVM. Sure, maybe you can't do it, but I feel like you should be able to. Either way, this would definitely work. So you would have options at math.floor, math.random times options.length. Even that doesn't work? What is up with it? There's got to be some like syntax error or something going on here, because there's no way this is being so strange. I can't even just return what I was passed in. I can. Well then, why can't I? There's, oh, it's a double? Why is math.floor return a double? What? Whatever. You know what? That might have been the issue. So when I do this as an integer, come on, compile. What is this thing even doing? Does not take type parameters. You know what? You know what? I'm done, bro. I'm taking a break. Probably gonna come back tomorrow, or maybe not. But that's enough Scala for today. I'm struggling with this thing. Honestly, pretty good stuff. We got ternary, we got some other stuff, so I'll get back to it. And I will. What is this trash code, man? This is actually garbage. Use reduce. Funny thing about this website is there's always like their examples for different languages is like they just write it exactly how you'd write it in, say, C++, right? Or in a language like even regular C. And then they try to write code in functional languages like that. So, I mean, this is just ugly. Like, what is this? Like, what are you doing? Just do return a dot fold. No, args dot fold. You start with your starting value of a plus b, and then you get a function which takes a2 b2 into a2 plus b2. I mean, that's not that hard to understand. Or you could call this accumulator and new. Okay, well, new is a keyword, so you can't do that. Num act plus num. Or you can maybe even do sum, right? There's got to be an int sum. Okay, well, that's not a thing. Plus. Okay, so in Kotlin you do that, but I don't know how you do it for Scala yet. But yeah, something like this is how you'd actually write that function, and you'd print line sum of 1, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, yap. All that, put a 9 here, put a little thing here, and that should give me a sum. I mean, not hard, but this website, they'll always write it in the worst, like most boring way possible. Okay. So far, that feels good. That does not feel bad at all. So that's just the basic syntax, and that should be good. See you guys.